All right. The Broncos Booze Up. Oh, let me bring the captain in. Sorry, I forgot to do that. There
It's
it is.
okay. It's okay. Nobody needs to see this ugly mug.
I got my ass in the jackpot is the problem here. So
Classic start as always, John.
that's right. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to week 4 of the Broncos Booze Up. We're into week 4. We got a lot to talk about. We're hopefully dodging more technical difficulties as we was working that out. We were a little late because we were making sure everything's good, but I think we're good. If not, I don't fucking care at this point, So I don't care. Much like I'm sorry not to care about your Denver Broncos, and sorry to say, but yeah. So before we get into it, Captain, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good. I got to see your playoff clinching Padres from the third row behind home base last night, which was exciting. I have some friends who have some awesome tickets, so it was a good baseball game. Grand slam, shutout, 17th of the season. So at least one of my teams is doing all right.
That's good. At least one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
How about you?
No complaints other than the usual, which I could fill an hour of time with, but I'm not going to. So, yeah, all good. What are you drinking tonight? Are we going to be talking about that a little bit later?
Well, I figured since you wore the shirt, we should go do another little throwback. When I first had you on the first episode of the Booze Cast, I was drinking the Devil's Apple because the Broncos were in such a terrible shape, and I figured we had to return to that after losing 2 games back-to-back by a field goal.
Well, as we called it, the Devil's Asshole, because it was like licking the devil's asshole at the end. I think I remember at the end of it, you were grunting and you weren't making much sense. And I just kind of said, okay, I gotta go. I'm gonna go now. And you were like, ugh, ugh. And that's what the devil's asshole will do to you.
Yeah, we're not going to go that far tonight. I promised myself 1 cup. One cup. So we're not counting the wrinkles on the starfish.
Well, that's good. Well, yeah, I saw you mention that, so I thought I'd wear the patty. It is the patty devil's asshole that you're drinking?
It is one and only, John. I had to do
great. Well, I wanted to bring up a little bit later. They're hawking a similar booze during the football games that has a similar probably musky overtones to it that we will talk about in a little bit. But let's get right into it. Let's talk about what happened on Sunday. Your Denver Broncos played the San Diego Chargers. I still call them the San Diego Chargers because that's what they are. And they lost 23-20 with another field goal shenanigans. And really just a bummer. And a bummer because they really started to dominate the Chargers at a point, and you knew they weren't going away, but then just letting them back in it, and they just can't shut anybody down. They let them get within field goal range, and it's all over. And now 2 weeks in a row, they've lost on a field goal in a game that they should have won, that they seemed to have control over, but they just let it slip away 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it right, John. I think that you have a problem of two teams here, right? And I feel bad. I mean, you live in Denver. I can only read what I see on the internet, but I hear like a lot of people in Broncos country sitting there going, it's over. The season's done. This team is in the garbage. But I think when you look at the Colts game and you look at the Chargers game, to your point, like the offense is trying to get there. The defense is not helping them. 10 penalties for 90 yards. They've given up 300 yards in back-to-back games. It was just disappointing because, to your point, they engineered 3 scoring drives in 3 minutes at the end of the half there.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, I really thought, hey, this is going the right direction. Then they gave it all up in the end. But I will say this. Give it to Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen. That play at the end of the game was something else. I mean, as much as I hate to give the Chargers credit, that was an incredible throw.
Very impressive. The Chargers started a charger at some point in the game, about maybe midway to 3/4 of the way through. I was like, the Chargers are chargersing, but they didn't. They actually pulled it out, and they ended up beating them. Again, very frustrating when they have them on the ropes and they can't finish it off. And that's happened last 2 weeks. And we've seen it last few years too, where you thought, okay, maybe they got something here, and then they just blow it. So what I want to ask you is, obviously there's some things they need to clean up. The defense is not doing what we thought they were going to do, and the offense seems pretty flat, pretty unimaginative. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But like, is that a coaching thing? Is that something that they're talented enough? They should be on both sides. They just don't seem to be getting it done. Is this the coach's fault?
I don't know. I think, look, we talked about it, I think, in episode 1. You got to give the time to the team. You got to give time to the team to gel. And I think the problem that you're seeing is that there are these great moments. Like if you look at the defense and what they were able to do to Herbert, 5 sacks, right? They gave him his first INT of the game. What was there? 47 pass rush attempts. They're giving pressure, but they're also giving up big plays, and they've done that 2 weeks in a row. And I think that's what's killing them. And the penalties in key situations aren't helping them. That ends up putting a field goal in a winning scoring position or a pass interference call. And I'm just kind of hoping that with the Bungles coming up, the Bungles will continue to bungle, and they'll find their opportunity to kind of get into a rhythm.
Well, we will talk about that game coming up, which is a Monday night game, by the way. So
yeah,
a little bit quicker. We'll have a quicker reaction to the game after that. I do think it's coaching because, like I said, you got talented people here. They should be playing a little better. Don't forget who the defensive coordinator is. Have you forgotten who the defensive coordinator is?
Oh, good old Vancy Pants. He has these moments of brilliance, and then he just poops the bed.
You said it yourself. They sacked him 5 times. If you're sacking a quarterback 5 times, you're probably maybe not winning the game, but I don't think you should be giving up 23 points. And that's crazy that they got to him that much. And they were all over him. They were all over him at one point, and that's when I was like, okay, they got this. They're gonna be able to salt this away. But of course, as we've seen, they're not able to do that. So they obviously either have to score more points, or they're going to have to learn how to hold them down. If they can't hold the other team down, then they're going to have to score more points. So that comes back to coaching.
Yeah.
It's very unimaginative. There's not much to it. They don't, and I don't need crazy plays all the time. I just need something that's going to throw the other team off. Mm-hmm. And if you watch that Detroit Ravens game the other night, there was some really cool play calls in that. Now, granted, different teams, obviously, different players, different skill sets. But there was a play where they pitched it to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who then pitched it to, I think it was Jahmyr Gibbs on the Lions. So it was like a weird double pitch. And by the time he got it, Gibbs got it, he had a straight shot to the end zone. It was really cool looking, and it was an awesome play. Broncos have none of that. And
what are you talking about? They had a flea flicker that failed.
That looked really bad. Like it almost didn't get. He almost didn't get it off in time. So other teams have done flea flickers. I've seen a few in the last week, and they've gotten them off in time. They barely got that one off. It was very clumsy. They just look a little discombobulated. The play calls aren't great. They're trying to force it into the same spot that they did the whole game, and it doesn't seem to be working. I'm not a coach. I can't tell you what they could do differently, but it just seems that the play calling is a little stale. And I think that comes down to Sean Payton. So what I'm asking you is, Sean Payton, obviously they spent a lot of money to get him here, and they gave up draft picks, I think, to get him, correct? I think there was some draft picks involved. And it cost him a pretty penny. When is he going to be on the hot seat? When does he finally get a little bit of shit? Now, obviously, he's deep in it. They've entrusted this team to him. But at what point is he going to get some grief for it? And they go, hey, look, this is not working. You're not doing it. At what point does that happen, Captain?
I don't think we're at the Kyle Orton stage where fans are going to start buying billboard space, for Tim Tebow to step into the ring. I mean, look, it's his 3rd season. You gave him Russell Wilson, who was a dumpster fire. You end up getting Bo Nix. You finally get back to the playoffs. It's exciting. And here we are in season 3 with 1 and 2, which is disappointing because I think Broncos country has high expectations. And after 9 years of a failing football team, there was finally some hope at the end of last year. But I don't think you can start calling for Sean Payton to be let go anytime soon.
No,
Like he has the talent, but you're right. There is talent there, but there are also decisions being made that are just, I think you said it best. It's clunky.
it is, and obviously, like I said, he's entrenched there. They've put a lot of capital into him, so they're not going to get rid of him anytime soon. But at what point do people start going, "Hey, look, this isn't working. This isn't going well"? Bo Nix is not Lamar Jackson, but he's also not Jared Goff. Or I almost called him Jared Goff. I want to call him Jared Goff. I prefer Jared Goff. Jared Goff. So the dude can run. He can move. He's got a pretty decent arm. He's almost like kind of a cross between the two. Calling him Lamar Jackson's a stretch. I get that. He's not that fast. But you have to do something else. You have to figure out some other way to get him moving, to get people moving. The running backs, Dobbins looked really good in the game for sure, but that's the first time. They were like, RJ Harvey's going to be catching passes and going crazy, and he hasn't done anything. So I just want to see more. I need to. They need to open up the playbook a little bit, and I don't know what Sean Payton does if he's scripting all these plays, if he's the one doing it for the offensive coordinator, or if the offensive coordinator's doing it. If the offensive coordinator's doing it, why is Sean Payton telling him, "Hey, this isn't fucking working, man. You got to do something different"? So all I'm saying is these guys aren't going anywhere, but maybe they should get a little more heat. And I'm not just saying like from the local columnists going, hey, maybe Sean Payton should, fucking take a vacation and let somebody else do it. Not saying that, but they at some point should get some grief.
Grief is, I think when you have two losses like you had, and like you said, I mean, we saw a lot of that last season, like losing to the Chiefs in last minute situations, 1 or 2 games ends up changing the whole playoff scenario. And it's frustrating as a fan. But I will tell you one thing that I've stood by ever since the years of Shannon Sharp, and the Broncos were always great when they had a blocking and catching tight end. And the last time we had one of those was Noah Fant back in the day with John Fox. And there were some incredible plays there. And I don't think we've had a good blocking, catching tight end in a while. And I think that ends up helping to develop some of these running plays and passing plays a little bit more than what we're seeing.
Hold on. Noah Fant that far back? Are you thinking of oh shit. What
the guy's dad went in the guy's dad went into, what was it? Was it predominantly orange? It was he went into some Broncos blog and like started blasting fans because people were calling him out. Do you remember this?
I don't remember that, but I'm just trying to think. I think there was another guy, and I can't think, who had a really good. Are you talking about with Peyton Manning? Because when
yes,
Noah Fant wasn't here yet. Noah Fant was like is probably the middle. You're thinking of I can't think of his name. He had a really good year with.
Yeah, Peyton. He had an incredible year.
He had a really good year. Oh God, I can't think of his name. Somebody will chime in later. Tell us we're fucking idiots. No, Noah Fant was like only like in the last, like probably 5-6 years, because then he got traded with Russell Wilson. He got traded with Russell Wilson, and then now he went to somewhere else where I don't think he's playing right now. He might be hurt, but anyway, I know who you're thinking of. It'll come to me later. But they've got a couple guys. They got like Adam Troutman. They've got these other dudes that can do this. Evan Ingram was supposed to be like this, was supposed to be this great, pass catching tight end. He did nothing, and he got hurt. I think he's still hurt, and he's hobbled at least. So no, they've got a few things to work out. I'm just very disappointed. Because you brought up the thing about losing to the Chiefs. Well, they lost to the Chiefs when they were shitty. We just wanted that as a bonus, just so we would feel better about our miserable lives, right? Now that was expected. Okay, they lost because they started dicking around. They let Pat Mahomes, do his business. Now we don't expect that. We think you're not going to mess around. You're going to win these close games. You're going to hold them down. You're going to eke it out. That's what we expect now. And I don't think I'm out of line by saying we should expect that.
No, I think you're right. I mean, look, we've had 9 years of like really crappy football, and last year was a glimmer of hope being back in the playoffs. And I think everybody felt that plane was really taking off, and it's been kind of a stalled start this season. But I mean, you look at who they're facing, the records ahead, they're like 7-13. So the Broncos have an opportunity to turn it around, hopefully. But yeah, I mean, look, it's frustrating for all of us, especially 2 close games that you lose by a field goal at the last second.
But they could have been 3-0.
Yeah.
They could have conceivably been 3-0 if they hadn't dicked around and let those other teams in it. So think about it. They could have been 3-0. They would have been top of the AFC West because they would have beat the Chargers. So now the Chargers are 3-0, and now they're 1-2. So coulda, shoulda, woulda. I get it. It sucks, but it's a little bitter pill to swallow, and especially if they don't make the playoffs, which I don't think they will. But they've got to turn it around here pretty soon. If they did, then I would be very upset if that is the case. So anyway, but
that was sacrilegious to say that, John. They are going to make the playoffs.
They are. Okay, good. Well, then, you know what? That's what brings up my next point. Watching them in Vegas. Now, how is it that I see your wife traveling the world, always on the move, always somewhere, and you? When we say, hey, Captain, come out to Las Vegas with us, it's like we've asked you to take a trip to the moon. And you're like, oh, I certainly can't do that. There's no way. You know how long of a drive it is from your house to Las Vegas?
It's 4 hours.
It's 4 hours. Yes, it's 4 hours. I would assume maybe a little longer if the traffic's bad, right? But it's 4 hours. Like, that's almost like me trying to drive to Aspen. Like, I think I get to Aspen a little quicker than that, but that's the distance, okay? So it's not a long trip for you. And I see this all the time. I see your wife traveling the world, and you can't make the 4 hour drive. I don't know what that is, but I'm just telling you right now, if the Broncos make the playoffs, are you going to make the 4 hour drive?
So, yes, I will make it out. And I think, unfortunately for me, in the past few years, it's around the same time as some pretty big events that have happened. And then I got to end up taking a back seat. And so that's on me. But I will definitely rectify that. Thank you for calling me out. I think Colin called me out earlier via text. So I'm glad to know my Mile High friends are happy to give me a rear end award.
All I'm saying is one of you is traveling all over and one of you is not. So I don't know how that works.
Somebody's got to take care of the kids, John. The 2 dogs, Peyton and Tebow, need to be taken care of.
I get you. I understand. That's probably why I don't travel very much, because we got to have someone take care of the animals. But I'm going on my own. My wife's not coming with me to Las Vegas. Thank God.
Hey, John, just some quick follow-up. I am never wrong. I'm looking at Broncos tight ends throughout the course of the past 10 years. It was Noah Fant, 47 receptions for 1,905 yards.
Yeah, but Noah Fant didn't play with Peyton Manning, though. You're thinking of, who's the guy before it? Look it up.
None of these guys. It's none of them. So if you go backwards, you got Nate Atkins, Adam Troutman, Chris Manhertz, Greg Dulcich, Eric Tomlinson, Eric Saubert, Albert Owagajagabam, Nick Vannett, Noah Fant, Andrew Block, Troy Fumagalli, Tamarick Hemingway, Brian Parker. These guys, Jake Butt. Remember Jake Butt? So many good names could have come from
I'm excited by Butt.
Yeah, Matt Lacrosse, Austin Taylor. None of these guys had the numbers that Noah Fant had.
Keep going.
Owen Daniels, Virgil Green, Michael Henry, Richard Gordon, Vernon Davis, John Phillips, Jeff Hewerman, AJ Derby, Henry Krieger Cobble, Austin Traylor. I'm already back to number 11. It's Noah Fant.
Well, it might be, but you're missing one guy, and I can't think of his name, and I don't know why he wouldn't be on there.
I don't know. This is just the last 10 years.
So you got to go back before that. You got to go back.
All right, I'm going to go 20 years.
No. You just got to go back like another 2 years.
Stat Mouse isn't finding it. I'm going to get this before the end of the show.
Okay, fine. That's fine. I cannot think. It wasn't Virgil Green, but it was around the time of Virgil Green. Because Virgil Green was another one that was supposed to be big, and he wasn't. But this guy had a fantastic year. He did great under Peyton Manning. So, all right, we'll look it up. So,
I just want to know, is the burp our new bell? Is that the new bell for the next quarter of the show?
They say that again.
Is the belch the new, like, that's the quarter? We're moving on to the next segment.
I did that right about the 20-minute mark. I was like, all right, time to fire this up. So no, I was gonna. So one of the notes I had was while watching the games, like Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football, they started advertising Fireball Blazing Apple. Yeah, and they started like I mean, think about how much it costs to advertise on Monday Night Football, and they're advertising Fireball Blazing Apple. And first of all, I believe they held a press conference and said that it causes autism. So that we're straight up. That was bad publicity right there for them. Two, it's got to taste horrible. Like that's got to taste awful. Like I've never had Fireball. Oh, sorry, I think I've tasted Fireball before, but I've never had like a shot of it.
Really?
Nasty stuff, right? Nasty stuff. It's like what, like hot cinnamon flavor, right?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay, well, it's bad. It's bad, but it's bad if you like drinking some of the finer elixirs, like I know you do. It's bad. It's really bad. It's very, very, very sugary, very chemical. So you got Fireball, right? Already nasty. Then you got an artificial apple flavor in there, right? So it's hot. It's hot apple, which is hot asshole, really. I mean, you're saying hot asshole to me. You're saying, hey, have some of this blazing asshole, and I don't want that. I don't ever want to drink that. And I think what a crazy thing to spend your money to advertise on Monday Night Football. Blazing asshole? Like, come on. That is crazy. That is
John,
crazy.
have you seen some of the fans who go to football games nowadays?
I have. I understand it's probably something that if there was a tailgate at the Jacksonville Jaguars game and the Fireball Blazing Apple girls came running through giving out samples, people would be drinking it like crazy.
I like how you went to Jacksonville for that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's where I thought it would go over best, But I wouldn't drink that for free, and I'll drink almost anything for free. Like if you're like, hey, I got some free beer, but it's fucking Milwaukee's best. I'll be like, bottoms up, let's go. But blazing asshole, no, I would not drink that. There's no way. It's so gross. One time I went to Vegas. This was in the fall. Usually when we go, when you're supposed to go,
right?
It's in January for the first round of the playoffs. I went one time in the fall with Snyder, of course, and they did a fantasy draft. So they had a big party and they had a bathtub full of booze. Okay.
Oh.
And they like filled up with booze. There's probably somebody got a kidney removed and they got dumped in there later, I think. So, so I look in there and it's all like White Claw and they had like Fireball. I know. And I was just like, oh God, like I've never had a White Claw there. And I'm not saying this to be cool. Like, hey, I'm so cool. I've never had this. I just would never drink that. Like I've drank some of the nastiest stuff on this planet and I would never drink that. I'm not a highfalutin guy. Like I said, if you're like, hey, I got this, I got this fucking booze here. I'd be like, okay, cool. That stuff, no, I would never drink that. So they had that, and I was like, no, I'm good. I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna go walk down the hall to where there's a full bar where I can get whatever I want. So,
I'm fine with water.
So yes, that's horrible stuff. I get it. It works for football fans, but there's just at some point you have to draw a line in the sand, and you have to say no more.
John, I'm going to find this luxury beverage before next week's episode. And that's what I'm going to have because I feel like you've talked this thing down so bad.
You talking about blazing asshole?
Yeah. I mean, look, there are good artificial apple flavors. Jolly Rancher Green Apple, one of the best candies, right?
That's candy though.
Yeah. But I think it depends on the apple flavoring. I'm going to reserve judgment. I'm not saying it's good. But I'm already somewhat not very smart, so the autism thing doesn't scare me.
You're literally drinking Irish whiskey with apple flavor in it right now, right?
Yeah. It's great.
So you're already corrupted. You've already been co-opted. You're a Manchurian candidate for the apple flavored whiskey consortium.
Look, after most alcoholic beverages, after the second or third one, you're not tasting anything anyways.
True.
It just goes down and the ethanol's in your stream and it's a good time.
Yeah, I just don't know about apple, man. Like they got like Crown Royal apple, and I'm like, Crown Royal is its own distinct flavor.
Yeah, I don't like the Crown green apple. That one's not very good.
Yeah,
See, I'm a connoisseur of apple crapple.
Apple crapple, what's that?
It's just apple flavored beverages that end up being crappy.
Yeah, and hey, look, ciders. I'm totally fine with ciders. Like straight up cider, that's fine. Ciders are fine.
Yeah,
that's good because those are basically made, and I'm sure a lot of them are mass produced, and they're just not much apple in them, but they're generally supposed to be made like this is an apple drink. This is a fermented apple cider that I'm drinking. So if you get like what do you call the black velvets or what? There's another name for it where you put the cider in the Guinness and you float Guinness on top. I was a long time bartender. I should remember what that's called, and I don't because I'm old and confused. But those are delicious because the way the cider would mix with the Guinness, it was really good. No problem with that. But that's natural apple. That's not fake apple. Crammed into like a spicy whiskey. Is
that your issue? Is just the flavor of apple?
No, I like the flavor of apple. I have no problem. Like you said, apple Jolly Rancher. I'm like fine with that. I'd eat one of those right now. They're good, and I know that's all chemicals, but yeah, it's just whiskey and apple. I think whiskey now. Look at Patty.
Yeah,
Patty is a fine whiskey on its own. That's not a high end Irish whiskey though. Okay.
Yeah.
In Ireland, that's like kind of like
Coors Light.
Yeah, it's like Coors. It's probably like a Coors Light, maybe even just regular Coors type whiskey. It's perfectly fine. People are okay with it. There's definitely higher end Irish whiskeys and far better tasting, but it's great. It does the job. It's not nasty. It's certainly good. So there's no reason to fuck with it. And so whiskey in general, I like a lot of the single malts, the single malt American whiskeys like your Stranahans and all that. I like those. Those are delicious. If they started adding apple, I'd be very disappointed in them. That's all I'm saying. So
I don't think Stranahans would go that route.
I don't think they would either. I don't think.
No, I don't see them caving to that. Real-time follow-up, John. You are correct. I think it's Julius Thomas
Julius Thomas. That's right. Julius Thomas. Thank you. So Julius Thomas had a real big year.
Yeah, 2011 through 2014. You were right. We were off by a little bit, or I was off by a little bit.
Yeah, he was rocking. Noah Fant didn't really have anybody to throw to him. I don't think so. I think that was in the lean years. Your boy Skittles, I think, was throwing to him at one point.
Dude, I will stand on that hill till I die. Trevor Siemian was the best quarterback we had after Peyton Manning. Period. All stop. Look at the stats.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. He was certainly a quarterback. No, he was fine actually. I think if he had a little better team around him, he probably would have been better. I think he could. I think he threw a nice ball. He was fine. I mean, compared to Bo Nix, I think they're, I think Bo's a little more mobile, but he can move a little better. But Trev probably had a little better throw, I think, than Bo. But I mean, definitely
look at all the QBs we went through. I mean, look, we had Mark Sanchez. I mean, the hot dog butt fumbler was on our team for a period of time. I mean, we cannot say anything about the Cleveland Browns because I believe we went through about 20 QBs in the past 9 years.
We went through a lot. That's where the carousel video. Remember? Do you remember that? And it had the guys, and they were going like this, like jacking it slow, and it was great because anytime there was like somebody would screw up, I just throw that video up on Twitter, and it would be like, looks like it's time for another quarterback. So, trust me, I'm glad that we've hit that moment where we're hopefully going to have the same guy for a few years now. Ideally, that'd be great.
Ideally.
I personally, I think he looks fine. I just think it comes back to how he's being coached. I think physically he looks like he has everything, right? Like I said, he can move well. He throws the ball nice too. he's got a good arm, but I just think like what he's being offered does not help probably where he's at right now. So I think they need to give him something a little bit easier to do. I mean, when he throws one, like he connects with like Cortland Sutton, it looks fantastic. It looks great. But that's like once every like 15 plays, right? Or once every 20 plays, there's a good pass like that. They got to do something else to give him more opportunities like that.
Well, they got to stop getting themselves into situations where, again, God, what was it? They didn't convert. They only managed 9 first downs, and they were 2 for 13 on third downs. Like, that's just, you can't win football games if you can't move the ball. And I think it just goes back to what we've been talking about. There are moments of greatness, and then those moments of greatness are ruined by something stupid on the defense, and it just counterbalances everything that goes on during the game. And I believe they'll figure it out.
Well, didn't they, and I could be wrong, but wasn't it a fourth down? Maybe it was a third. Excuse me. They didn't have far to go, and they they threw it like way downfield. Didn't that happen at the end of this game?
Yes.
And I was like, man, I get it. You want to like go for like. So here's Sean Payton. Sean Payton thinks we're going for this big play. We're gonna break their backs. It's gonna be epic. And it's like, that's only epic if you've got like Tom Brady throwing it to Mike Evans.
Give that to Bo Nix in 5 years. Don't do it.
Yeah. They're not ready for that now. You got to get that fucking first down. Then if you want to go for the backbreaker on second down, go for it. That's cool. But you did it, and then you coughed the ball up. That is so dumb. I just don't know.
It's not big peener energy.
No, it is not. We need big. They need to subscribe to big peener energy. And I think the peeners are going to start. They're going to start looking at Sean Payton like. So my favorite thing is in Goodfellas when all the guys come into the bar and they're like, they're wearing their fur coats and they're kind of flashing their money around and fucking De Niro said, do not do that. Said, do not flash your money around. We cannot be seen as just scoring this money from this robbery. And then everything's coming in and he's just at the bar smoking, kind of looking at everybody like that. Like he's like, well, I got to kill these guys. The peeners are going to start looking that way at Sean Payton. They're going to start looking at him like, well, okay.
I don't disagree. I mean, look, I got to give them credit. The amount of time, money, and I didn't expect this. I was talking to some of my friends last night when we were sitting at Petco, and it's like, it's crazy to me that Petco Park is 20 plus years old, but the new Mile High isn't that old, and they're already getting a new stadium in 6 years. I mean, the Peeners are coming in throwing down, and it seems like Denver, they're doing a great thing in Denver.
Well, wait,
overall.
Wait, the stadium's like 24 years old, though.
The new Mile High is 24?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, because remember the game that Ed McCaffrey broke his leg was right before 9/11? That was the first year.
Right.
So it's been a while.
God.
Now that stadium's fine. They don't need to build a new stadium. I haven't been there in a long time. I have to admit that. I admit that freely that I haven't gone to see a game. But it's a great stadium. If you ever walk up the east side, it's got a beautiful view of downtown. It's perfectly fine. The problem is where it is. And I think that land is worth more than what the stadium has to offer right now. And they figure this doesn't belong to us. We will take it. We'll go somewhere else. We'll own all of it. They can do it whatever they want with it. They want that out of there, and so that's why they're going to move it. The stadium, there's no problem with the stadium. It's perfectly fine. But it is
crazy to me.
It is probably close to 25 years old.
It's just nuts. I mean, here I am, going on a half century of my life, and now I'm going to be going to a third Denver Broncos stadium. And I thought you could never replace the old Mile High with the South Stands, and like you said, new Mile High's got some great energy. I don't know about after we started talking about it, the dome thing. I don't know. The dome thing makes me weird.
It's retractable, so
yeah, but I feel like that. I saw a video the other day, like Fog Bowl, right? Or the time when Green Bay played in a blizzard. Like, I miss some of those elements of old school football.
Broncos have played in blizzards too. It's been great.
Yeah, and so I feel like, oh, we got to do the perfect condition thing, and I don't know. I'm getting old, John.
No, no, I understand. There's an element of that where you kind of want it to be crappy, but I think nowadays they're like, we can make this like an indoor thing. If it gets super cold, we can close the
Yeah,
roof and blah blah blah, and it'll be at least tolerable. That is just the way of the world now. They just want that to be the case. So the the guys eating the sushi up in the expensive seats, they're not too cold. They don't have to put the. I mean, people were like, you got to get a glove. You got to get one of those glove warmers and put it in your gloves. I mean, I've gone to games where you put the people with handing out glove warmers and you activate them and you put them in your gloves because it was so goddamn cold. But
yeah,
that's part of the fun,
yeah.
That's part of the fun of being out there and it freezing to death. And now, while I won't do that now, there's plenty of people who will, So you should
There's
see
always
that.
enough beer to get somebody to take their shirt off in 30
Oh,
degrees weather.
absolutely. Every spring, like early, oh god, maybe even like February, March, they'll have the Rapids will play. They play out in kind of Commerce City, and it's just a fucking snowstorm. It looks awful, and people are like so cold, but it's like very cool to see that, And
Yeah,
they're like, and now I don't think like soccer doesn't seem like a snow sport because it's generally played places where it's either warm or it's raining, Oh, wait, you don't like soccer? What the hell?
no.
Sorry, this isn't a soccer show. We'll get off it. I'm just saying snow and soccer don't seem to mix, but football and bitter cold seem to mix. And I just think they're missing a little bit of that. But I would also like to go eat sushi in the club level with the roof closed now. That's what I want to do. So
I gotta say, I mean, the experience I had yesterday at Petco was second to none. Like, you literally go downstairs, and then if you get there early enough, they're doing batting practice while fans are sitting there eating
sure.
their high society food and whatnot. And it was something else. But I will say, I tried to keep true to myself and only had a single hot dog in the seventh inning because that's what baseball's about. It's just a hot dog. Sliders. I don't keep it simple.
A hot dog's really all you can do. Like, they've got all sorts of crazy food at Coors Field, and I'm just like, I just want the hot dog. I mean, I do go to the green chili bar. You can put on some green chili and some jalapenos and all that stuff. It's great. But hot dog's great. You can jam it down and then get down to business watching the game.
That's right.
I do.
And they're still respectably priced.
You got to have it respectably priced, of course, but that's the thing, we used to have season tickets to the Rockies and we gave them up because they're going nowhere and they will go nowhere. So I haven't been to a Rockies game in years. And it's almost like I don't go to these games anymore because, for whatever reason, they're expensive. What I had tickets all summer to the Rockies. And every time my tickets come up, they'd be like, "Hey, you got tickets to the game this week?" And I'd be like, "Oh God, like, I'm not going to that." Because I'm like, I gotta drag my ass down there. Okay. Then I'm gonna spend like fucking $70 on food and booze. Okay. And it's just not worth it. So goodbye. They're gone. But I will say that now we've got Avalanche tickets. So I've got Avalanche tickets.
I've heard that underground bar that they have there is quite spectacular.
In the Ball Arena.
Yes.
Underground bar, like underwear.
So some
Do I not know about this? Are you hipping me to this hip bar?
No. So some family friends of ours have some level of tickets, but there's a bar like downstairs somewhere. I got to find out more about it.
So there's a couple bars. Like there's one right on the outside. Excuse me. If you're like walking up to the place, it's right there.
No, I think this is for like people who got like club level, if you will.
Oh, okay.
Like you got to be a certain level in order to be around these folks.
All right. Well, maybe I'm invited now. So
I'll find out.
Find out. Let me know.
I could be making it up. The devil's apple may be speaking to me.
Oh, that's true. The devil's asshole's winking at you. That's right.
Creating bars.
I will say that before we get into the game coming up, and I was talking about hockey, fantasy hockey season's coming up. It's almost like when you do fantasy football, The drafting's the almost fun part, right? That's the best part, is drafting, whether it's in person or online. It's great. And you get done, then you're kind of like, oh shit, I'm fucking 1-2, and now that I'm bummed out. But then fantasy hockey starts, and you can start drafting for fantasy hockey, and it's the fun happens all over again. And I know you're not a big hockey guy, but fantasy hockey is a big deal, and it's a lot of fun. So
I love those fantasy football. I forget what platform that we did that for a couple years on, but I enjoyed those one-off fantasy football games that we did a few years back.
what are you talking about? The DraftKings ones?
Yeah. That was fun.
Just the DFS. Yeah, that's fun. Just do a weekly one. Yeah, I like doing those too. I stopped kind of doing that. I know our buddy Colin kind of stopped too, because we were like, when you play against the public, it's like it's nothing but people with spreadsheets and fucking algorithms, and you're like, I don't want to play against that. I just want to play against guys like you, and just, we can just have some fun. Maybe 1 week so and so wins. That's the way to do it. Those are
I enjoy. Well, and I think to your point, that group that we were playing with for a while, Jennifer Eakins and all the rest of them, that was a fun group.
Yeah, it's good stuff. That the draft is always the best part. But
unless you're doing the Guillotine League.
Oh yeah, it's always tough. Yeah, I'm in 2 of those.
20, was it 20 days it took us to finish that draft this year?
Oh yeah, that's terrible. But that was the commissioner's fault for fucking setting a 6-hour time limit. Mostly, you could do 2 hours. It's usually the best. So, but I'm in 2 of those actually. That's why I joined so many fantasy leagues, because 2 of them are guillotine leagues, and I was like, well, I can get bounced from those anytime. So I need these other leagues to pay attention to.
Yeah.
But I'm still going. But yeah, it's good times. Enjoy that a lot. But let's talk about the next game, Captain. And if you're ready to get into it.
Oh, I'm always ready to talk about the Bungles.
Okay. So next Monday Night Football. Now they do the double headers now for some reason, which is kind of ridiculous, because I don't know. It's just like I like having the one game on, like when the Sunday Night Football hits, you're like, okay, I watched all this on Red Zone. I'm just going to sit down and watch this one game. I can kind of pay attention to it. It's just one game. They do 2 on Monday night, and they tend to overlap. I think they start like one's still going when the other one starts, and that's just kind of weak too. And then you got that's a late ass game, and it's like, just do one. It's fine. You can just do one. We love football, but we really love football when we want more of it, right? We really miss football when it goes away, not when it's 24 hours a day. So you could just do one game on Monday night. It's fine, but it's the Broncos, so we have to we have to pay attention to it, and we're glad. Thank you, Roger Goodell. Bless you for letting our Broncos on Monday Night Football. We praise you, and long life and long reign to you, Roger Goodell. We think you're great. So Monday Night Football, your Denver Broncos are playing the Cincinnati Bungles, as they're called. The Broncos are favored by 7, and the over/under is 44 points. Big 44 points. So here's what they say. A lot of smart fantasy guys, they early in the season, they're like, it's too hard to tell. You need data points to tell you. Now we've got 3 weeks of data points for the Denver Broncos. Do we think they're going to win by 7? And do we think it's going to go over 44 points?
It's funny you say that, John. I was looking at my notes from tonight, and my prediction was 30-14. The Broncos haven't scored over 21 points in a game, and I feel like the Bungles came off of a rough game against the Vikings last week. They haven't run for more than 55 yards in a game yet, and I think the Broncos defense is probably going to do pretty well, and I'm hoping that the offense uses this opportunity to kind of get some of their mojo back, if you will.
So you think you said 30-14 without knowing the total was 44?
Correct. So wow. I came up to the even 44.
That's crazy, because they're usually right on that. So it's going to be, one way or the other. So it's probably a, maybe like a 28-14 type thing.
Yeah.
Now the Bengals are terrible. Well, they're not terrible. They're actually got some really good players. Lost their quarterback, obviously. he has not done great. I think he did okay the first week, but not this last week.
Jake Brownhole.
Jim Brownhole.
Jake Brownhole.
Oh, Jake. Yes, exactly. Jake's going to be drinking the devil's asshole, I think, after this, because I think that the Broncos, this is where the Broncos defense is going to really shine, because they've got some really good receivers to cover, and I think they're going to do a decent job, but I think they're going to get after him, and I think he's not going to have a lot of time to do it. So your 14 points is probably accurate, maybe generous. I just don't think the Broncos are going to score that much. I just don't think they're going to be able. The Bengals are going to have like this fucking career game against them, just because that's just how it goes, right?
No, I think. Look, Jake Brownhole had one good start, and he hasn't really done much after that. I think, again, they haven't run for over 55 yards in the past 2 games. To your point, I mean, you saw 47 pass rushes by the Broncos against Justin Herbert, and then they still got 5 sacks. So what does that mean that defense is going to do to the Bengals? I mean, to your point, he's just going to be pressurized all day. Now, I do think they're going to give up some long balls. I mean, they're just notorious for that this season. And that's where I think the 14 points comes in. But I do think the Broncos got to establish a running game. They got to start getting first downs, and you got to start, as you said earlier, giving Bo Nix things that he can complete in a consistent fashion to move the ball downfield.
Yeah, stuff that if he doesn't have this fucking crazy shot down the sideline to Cortland Sutton, we'll give him something. Give him something on the other side that's easy. That's all you got to do. Yeah. And I just don't think they're quite grasping that concept. Now, easy for us to say, we're just sitting here, don't know how to coach. But honestly, that's what it looks like to me. You go, why the hell did they throw a fucking long pass on like a 4th down? It doesn't make any sense.
No, that's some Madden football back there, John. I mean, look, sometimes you want the big play and you're like, I'm going to chuck this thing 45 yards down the field and see what happens. But when you do it multiple times a game and it doesn't work out, that's when it's a problem.
It's a problem, yes. I think it's definitely, I talk about the over-under because it helps you understand and gives you an idea of what maybe they're going to do, how many points they're going to score. I think it goes under that. I think it will go under 44. I would say 7's a big number for them at this point. I do think they're going to win. I thought they were going to win the last 2 weeks, or at least I had a good idea. I thought maybe I kind of thought that the Chargers might, eke that out. It actually ended up being pretty close to that. So, I mean, they should have won. My point is, I think that they will win this game, but it may not be as much as Vegas thinks so. But God, I hope so.
No-handed wins is what you're saying. No-handed wins this game.
Mm-mm. No. They can't just sit back and what would you call him? Jake Brownhole?
Jake Brownhole. I just don't think Jake Brownhole is going to do much against this defense. I really don't
either. I think they're going to be up in his grill all day long. So, yeah, I don't know. You see what's happened the last couple of weeks, and I would say that it's pretty easy to say they are going to be all over him, and either Jamar Chase, he's not going to have any time to get open. There probably will be something, like you said, that they're going to score on, but I think it's going to be relatively low scoring, hopefully. So, I mean, if it's not, put it this way, if they don't win this game, and if they don't win it by 7-10 points, big problem.
Oh, there's going to be problems. I would say the one thing that I would ask out of this game is, like, please keep the penalties to a minimum, and please keep them from being ridiculous. 10. Yeah, I mean, real great in-depth analysis.
No, but that's legit though. Please don't do anything ridiculous.
It's just, it's the amount of holding calls, the pass interference calls, and then doing them in key situations that really screw them up. And so I would just say, please keep the penalty yards to like under 50 this game. Just cut it in half from last week. 5 penalties, 50 yards. I'll be happy.
It's all you can ask for, really. So, Well, good stuff. We'll get at it. Unless you got something
Yeah.
else. Do you got a segment that you?
I don't have a special segment this week, John. I was trying to get the audio to work, and so we'll reintroduce special segments next week. But to your point, no Gremlins today.
Hey,
Again.
I really thought there was going to be. I was really bummed out when we started. I was like, oh God, here we go. This is gonna fucking suck. Who knows? It could be. We could not have. We maybe didn't record this. Who knows? We'll find that. We'll find that out later. Tomorrow I'll be like, shit.
That's right.
But no, I think we're good. So yes, that was awesome. I appreciate the podcasting god smiled upon us tonight and said, "My sons, you shall have a glitch-free pod tonight." And
it's Stafford's opening song that just makes it all work, and it sends the demons away.
That's true. And speaking to that, we'll cue that up and we'll get back out of here. So yeah, that's right. I think he's saying your collar is hot, like you're hot under the collar. Okay, yeah, sorry.
I'm always hot under the collar.
That's right. Hey, so this has been the Broncos Booze Up. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back next week to talk about this victory that they're going to score. So for me and the captain, this has been week 4 of the Broncos Booze Up. Until next time, adios.
See ya.
It was a preppy summer with the heart of plenty.
The Horn of Plenty.
That line gets me every time.
It's good.
Denver Swim Club is straight ahead. At the Broncos Booze Up.
Okay, we're out.
Perfect.
Excellent. I think I ended it. Yeah. All right. That was good. I was glad. I thought we fucked that up. Or I thought I fucked